I recently saw Daddy Pig's foot separate from his leg, and Grandpa Pig run a gear right through his own leg. And also in this scene, George has no legs at all, which honestly does not surprise me. Anyway, I collected my favorite mistakes in this video, and I will start with the episode called
The Noisy Night.
Peppa's family are having a sleepover.
Why did Mummy Pig open the door if she was going to jump so high out of the car anyway? Seriously, in this frame, she jumps over the already open door, which looks even harder than jumping over a closed one.
First, we'll put baby Alexander to...
George stepped on his uncle's foot and did not even apologize. What a piggish thing to do.
Good night!
Good night.
Night.
How did George hear someone wishing him goodnight through the wall if he has hearing problems? In any case, notice that they are in 3 separate rooms, so when the lights are turned off, you only hear 3 clicks. But when the lights are turned back on, a 4th click comes from somewhere.
Baby Alexander is awake. Peppa and George.
Why did Peppa and George wake up at the same time if George has hearing problems and should either have kept sleeping or woken up later? You might think this is a continuity error because, at that time, the writers had not yet come up with the idea that George had poor hearing, but I do not think it is an error. Peppa and George woke up because that selfish fat pig turned on the light and woke them. Or maybe she did not turn it on because the switch is in the off position. Honestly, I'm confused myself about what is happening here.
Why are you vacuuming at night?
An interesting detail. At night, the only light comes from the lamp above, so the shadows are drawn darker than during the day, since daylight comes in through the windows. But the animators do not follow this everywhere, which is why the shadows in this scene are light, despite the lack of light coming through the windows.
How many times round the house was it, Mummy Pig?
50 times.
Daddy Pig is pushing baby Alexander around the house.
This is a funny frame, and right before it, there is a frame that is not funny at all. For some reason, the animators give all babies this blank stare fixed on one point. Imagine what it must have been like for Daddy Pig to walk 50 laps alone at night, while Alexander stared at him like that.
Can you let me back in?
So, if you are a perfectionist, you can appreciate how perfectly the stripe on Daddy Pig's pajamas lines up with the outline of the door. Anyway, that does not matter. Instead, take a look at the position of Daddy Pig's legs as he walks. It looks as though he should fall over because his legs are crossed, but he does not.
Switch the alarm back on.
Although, you know, maybe in this frame he was just doing some kind of yoga pose. That does not matter. What I wanted to say is that we were shown him carrying the sleeping Alexander into a lit room, which means Alexander does not wake up from light.
Stop, Daddy!
The light has woken baby Alexander.
No, he does wake up after all, which contradicts what was shown earlier. Though it is not that important, maybe the light in that room was just dim. What I actually wanted to tell you by showing this frame is that he left the stroller outside. But when he runs outside a little later, there is no stroller there.
I'll get the car started.
Don't forget
Daddy Pig's foot separated from his leg. Be careful when walking down the stairs so this does not happen to you.
the alarm.
The door has no opening animation, it simply disappears.
The noisy house has woken everyone up.
The neighbor's house on the left is just Pedro's house recolored, and the neighbor's house on the right is just Emily's house recolored, with even the vegetation matching perfectly. Yet for some reason, a zebra family lives there. This is all very strange.
We should have you to stay more often.
And now the car has disappeared.
The pet competition.
We will have a pet competition. Bring your pets to school. You can bring Zoe if you want to. Home time, children.
Richard's ear is growing out of his eye in this frame. By the way, here's another interesting fact about ears. Madame Gazelle's ears are in the center and her horns are on the sides of her head, while real gazelles have their horns in the center and their ears on the sides. This is just the cartoon style rather than a mistake, but I still cannot stop thinking about it.
It is the evening before the pet competition.
To depict the evening, they simply made the sky a little darker, which is of course less colorful than in previous episodes, but that is not the problem. The problem is that in the evening scene, part of a window is visible, and through it, you can see a blue daytime sky.
Peppa and Susie are getting Goldie the fish.
The goldfish bites in one spot, but a piece of food disappears from a completely different spot. Is she really that hungry?
I will polish your bowl.
Pedro is talking to his stick insect. A stick insect is a stick insect that looks like a stick insect.
The right side of the stick casts a shadow on the sand, the rock casts a shadow on the sand, but the left side of the stick does not cast a shadow on the sand, even though it should.
Watch me. Now you do it.
Maybe this is the same gecko their family found in the forest 8 episodes ago and decided to keep. A cool callback. But I do not understand why he is presenting this gecko by himself while his sister is sitting at the table with the stick insect, as if she had switched to the opposing side.
What lovely pets you've got! Oh, what kind of animal is this?
There is nothing on the cabinet behind Edmund, even though there was a vase with a flower there in the previous scene.
I've brought my pet too. Tiddles the tortoise.
Who's won the prize?
Oh, the prize goes to Tiddles the tortoise.
That's not fair!
The prize for the best fish goes to Tiddles the tortoise. The prize for
Why did a board appear behind her if there was a clock hanging there before?
the prize for the best gecko goes to Tiddles the tortoise. The prize for
Why is there nothing behind her if there was a board hanging there before?
the prize for the best pretend monkey goes to Tiddles the tortoise.
Madame Gazelle's leaving party.
In this frame, the window clearly shows the height of the ceiling in this room, and it is about twice as high as it was before.
Peppa's playgroup.
Children, next week there won't be any children.
What?
Why does this cabinet have 4 doors when, in the previous scene, there was a cabinet with 3 doors in this exact spot?
Mummy, there is no more playgroup.
The carrot on the cutting board has an irregular shape which made every piece a different size. Except in the pot, every piece of carrot has the same shape and thickness, which makes no sense.
Madame Gazelle taught all the mummies and daddies when they were children.
It is a shame that Daddy Pig's brother was not shown among the children. They probably went to school together. Speaking of that, this scene revealed that Daddy Pig has lived in this town since childhood. That means his parents also lived in this town. But for some reason, they have never been mentioned throughout the entire series, as though they either fell out with him or are dead. Meanwhile, his brother moved to a distant city a long time ago. I think Daddy Pig has a tragic backstory, but despite everything, he still managed to maintain a positive outlook on life.
Who can count to 3?
1, 2, 1.
Madame Gazelle must be very old. I know. We should give Madame Gazelle a leaving party.
Pedro, you stay outside.
Why?
We don't want you at the party. Sorry, Pedro.
Okay.
When Mr. Rabbit walks inside, a hole appears in his ear that definitely should not be there. 30 seconds later, a similar anomaly appears on the mugs in Miss Rabbit's hands. And another 5 seconds later, it happens again as Mr. Zebra walks past. Honestly, I cannot even imagine how this could have been done accidentally.
Hello, Madame Gazelle is leaving the playgroup.
Gigi leaving? What fun!
This is the playgroup kitchen.
Mr. Zebra's mouth is drawn over the container of water. Unlike the previous mistake, this one is fairly easy to explain. The object they are holding has to be layered beneath the arm, but above the head. Just like the mouth. That is why it was placed on the same layer as the mouth. And the animators were so unwilling to deal with this issue that they always tried to leave at least some distance between the object being held and the character's mouth. But in this case, that did not work.
Pedro Pony is outside.
Okay.
Here, by the way, is a demonstration of how the arm is layered over the mouth. In this case, the arm grows directly out of it.
Go in now.
Why is Pedro standing in the crowd with everyone else if he let Madame Gazelle go ahead of him? He should have entered after her. Also, from the outside, the wall with the door has no windows. But from the inside, that exact same wall with the door has 2 windows. This is supernatural.
Grumpy Rabbit's Dinosaur Park.
Today is Freddy Fox's birthday.
Why did she look away from the road? That seems not quite right, considering she is carrying 13 children and 6 adults. But she is wearing a seatbelt, so in an accident caused by her not watching the road, she has the highest chance of surviving.
We're here!
For some reason in this scene, the animators decided not to animate the bus shaking as it drove, even though they had animated it earlier.
Welcome to
Dinosaur.
George did not have this dinosaur in his hands when he was getting off the bus.
Real dinosaurs died out 65 million years ago.
Edmund isn't a dinosaur. Unfortunately, now we have to listen to him talk.
But we've got better than real dinosaurs. We've got...
For the dinosaurs to stand like that, some kind of metal beam would have to be holding them up. Part of the purple dinosaur's body is hidden by leaves, and I can generally imagine where they could have stuck that beam into him, but the orange one is just levitating in the air. And as we know, dinosaurs cannot fly.
Are you sure there's no living dinosaurs about, Crampy Rabbit?
What is going on with the shadows in this episode? Look at this red dinosaur. In the shadow, he became bluer, and that is normal shadow behavior. Even the tree next to him turned blue. But look at the yellow dinosaur. For some reason, while standing in the exact same shadow, he turned red. In another scene from this same episode, the color correction on the yellow dinosaur is normal.
Across the bridge!
Even though the bridge is a suspension bridge, the dinosaur footprint went beyond its edges and is floating in the air.
Steps.
Peppa was one of the first to start going up the steps, but in the end, she arrived last.
Are you ready for the next bit of the adventure?
Yes, Grumpy Rabbit.
Everyone opens their mouth, but only children's voices can be heard.
Yes, Grumpy Rabbit. Ooh.
Watch this.
The huge half of this eggshell that was attached to the lower part disappeared somewhere in this scene.
Here you go, Freddy.
Best birthday ever.
In just a few seconds, Granddad Dog's hat got dirty, and an ear became visible behind Mr. Zebra's hat. This is an animation mistake. This is what his hat should look like. The ear should not be visible.
George's new dinosaur.
The door opens by itself in front of George. Although, if you look closely, it looks like George is pushing the door with the tip of the dinosaur's tail. If so, I respect the animators, because later in the story, this dinosaur's tail will fall off. And now I know why. Instead of smoothly entering the frame, George materializes at the edge.
George is playing with his favorite toy, Mr.
Potato!
George is made of plastic.
Why is the dinosaur making the sound of an inflated ball instead of the sound of plastic? It is literally the same sound as the ball in another episode. The creators were too lazy to record a new falling sound for the material this dinosaur is made of, and I have not even mentioned that the grass should make the fall sound muffled.
George loves playing with Mr. Dinosaur in the bath. At nighttime, George always takes Mr. Dinosaur to bed with him.
The storytelling here is strange. First, he goes to the bathroom with a whole dinosaur, then he goes to sleep with a broken one. In episode 14 of season 2, we were shown that they go to wash before bed, and it is strange that he did not notice the broken off tail while he was going to his room. And what is even stranger is that the tail was found outside. By the way, in that episode, he has no belly button, and he is also missing something more important. How does he live without legs?
George, Mr. Dinosaur is broken. Oh. Dinosaur.
George does not want a new dinosaur.
Look, George, a big dinosaur.
Out of joy that a replacement was found for his favorite toy, George's hand passed right through the dinosaur.
And it sings a dinosaur song.
Dino roar, dino roar.
In the background behind the dinosaur, there are glasses, an orange shell, and a snail shell.
Roar!
Now, after the orange shell comes a yellow shell, but when it zooms in, there will be a snail shell there again, and only after it the yellow shell. Maybe there is still a snail inside the white shell, moving between shots.
Wow. Wow.
George, if you get Dino Roar wet, he'll stop working.
Where did his belly button go?
George cannot have Dino Roar in his bed at night.
What is the problem with just taking the batteries out of him so he does not turn on at night? Later they will take them out, but only to replace them with new ones.
I think it might be quite difficult to mend. I am a bit of an expert at mending things.
Daddy Pig's finger passes through the dinosaur's spikes. George's hand also passes through a spike.
Dinosaur, dinosaur. Hello, Mr. Dinosaur.
An interesting motif. They even made the end credits to this song.
Dinosaur, dinosaur. Hello, Mr. Dinosaur.
Am I the only one who thinks this sounds suspiciously similar to some melody from another series?
Dinosaur, dinosaur. Hello, Mr. Dinosaur. Dinosaur, dinosaur. Hello, Mr. Dinosaur. Spiderweb.
Daddy Pig is hard at work.
Why is he working in the home office where Mummy Pig is supposed to be working at this time? And this web on a completely flat surface makes no sense. Flies would not get caught in them.
Daddy Pig, this study is a complete mess.
It's not.
There are lots of
It's not.
I don't like Daddy Pig.
A flat web on the three-dimensional cabinet handle makes no sense either. The web should have been drawn following the shape of this uneven surface.
I do. Spiders catch flies, and you are horrid.
Well, as long as I don't have to see a spider.
The spider has a very long thread. You can estimate the minimum ceiling height in this frame yourself and think about how far it traveled.
Oh, where have you gone?
Now they somehow cannot find the spider that climbed up to the ceiling right in front of them. Maybe it is because the ceiling is 6 meters high, but I would rather look for the office chair Daddy Pig was sitting in during the previous scene. Where did it go?
Mr. Skinnylegs is not in the filing cabinet. Mr. Skinnylegs is not under the chair.
Oh, and here is that office chair. Except now there is a web on it that was not there a minute ago. This spider is very fast.
Mr. Skinnylegs is not on the table.
Oh.
Interesting fact, when I was a child, a bug crawled into a mug just like Daddy Pig's while there was coffee in it and I was not looking. And because the coffee was opaque, I noticed it too late. But actually, it is good that not everything in this cartoon is realistic and the spider simply teleports into the sink. I do not know how it got there or where the door on the left went, but I do not mind.
Now Mr. Skinnylegs has got the whole garden to play in.
Where is Mummy Pig's shadow?
Maybe he doesn't like the rain.
This downspout was not there earlier in this episode and will never appear in the cartoon again.
Down came the rain and was pouring tea out. Out came the sunshine and dried up all the rain. Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the spout again.
I don't want Mr. Skinnylegs in the house.
But the downspout does not actually lead into the house, so a spider living in it would not be inside the house. I do not understand her complaint.
Daddy Pig.
Let's take Mr. Skinnylegs a bit.
In this frame, the spider casts a shadow on the air. Mummy Pig is so afraid that spiders will come running to her from outside that she leaves the door open behind her.
A nice tree for you to live in.
It starts spinning the web from the middle of the branch, but now it starts from the edge of the branch. A perfect spiral web. That is how they are made in real life. I do not understand what stopped the animators from making all the webs like this. This web is drawn unrealistically.
Important meeting at the office.
Daddy, you work very hard.
There used to be a basement door in this spot, but everyone forgot about it. Now there is just a solid wall with no doors at all.
Grandpa Pig's train to the rescue.
In this scene, smoke is coming out of the train's chimney, but one scene later, no smoke is coming out of its chimney.
The big train is going very fast.
The rear carriage is not attached to the rest of the train in any way. Grandpa Pig's train is better designed in this regard, since each carriage has a coupling.
That's a good idea. Out you get.
What? Get out! But what am I going to do?
Why didn't they take Grandpa Pig with them? At first I thought it was because everyone was sitting close together and there was no room for an adult. But no, 2 more adults could have fit in there, so they left Grandpa Pig alone in the middle of the highway just for fun.
This is a toy train.
Gertrude is not a toy train.
Throughout this whole scene, everyone blinked except Mr. Rhino. The animators forgot about him. And if you think about it, the way Miss Cow gets onto the train is strange too. She is standing on the left, but Mr. Rhino makes room for her on the right, which is extremely inconvenient and forces her to move around his horn along a complicated path.
Grandpa Pig loves mending things.
I don't know how to comment on this without making YouTube's algorithms think something inappropriate. Anyway, Grandpa Pig stuck an object with sharp little prongs somewhere it shouldn't have gone.
Up the hill.
Come on, Gertrude! You can make it!
George opens his mouth, but his speech cannot be heard at all. And throughout the entire episode, he does not even grunt once. The writers forgot about him.
Grandpa Pig has mended the big train.
Grandpa Pig's head passes through the train.
What about Gertrude?
Don't worry. We'll take this old dirty wreck to the scrapyard.
When she put the train down, the closed rings connecting its carriages came apart. The rings themselves did not break, which is impossible. I also do not understand how this shadow appeared under the train. Maybe the animators forgot to remove it from the previous scene.
Lost keys.
Peppa and her...
The hand moves up and down, but the keys lying on it do not move at all.
Key.
No.
You're playing with the car. our keys, Daddy.
I'm not going to lose them.
The keys cast a shadow not only on the drain, but also on themselves, which is not really possible.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Oh, right.
The contents of this basket disappeared somewhere.
Hooray!
The drain must be deeper than I thought.
The stick is not long enough to reach the keys.
If the walls of the drain are made of soil, then where does the sound of metal hitting metal come from in the previous scene? Listen for yourself.
What we need is a fish.
What are drains for?
A drain takes the rainwater away to the sea.
She is right, but this specific drain makes no sense because it is located on top of a hill. In this shot, they did not draw the drain, but you can visualize in your head that all the rainwater would simply flow down the slope even without the drain and would not flood the parking lot. And in heavy rain, imagine if they put a drain right here. Would that help much?
We can count how long the stone takes to reach the bottom.
1,
2, 3.
George opens his mouth, but he cannot be heard. Besides, he cannot even count.
1, 3,
I'll help George to...
4, 5,
6.
Why is there a sound of something falling into water if there is no water down below? By the way, when Daddy Pig dropped the keys, there were no sounds, but maybe that is because of the keys' poor aerodynamics. According to my calculations, taking into account air resistance and the time it took the sound of the fall to come back, if this stone fell straight down, then the height of this hole is about 200 meters, which is taller than skyscrapers.
We came to enjoy the beauty spot.
You can see for miles, boss.
Yes, it's very pretty.
Daddy Pig's car disappeared from the parking lot. And actually, the parking sign itself disappeared too. It was standing next to the car earlier.
Down she goes.
The markings on the asphalt disappeared somewhere, even though they will appear a little later. Here are the keys that Daddy Pig dropped, but the stone that Miss Rabbit threw is not here.
The crane isn't long enough. We'll dig up the road.
Now the drain itself has disappeared somewhere. It was 1 meter from the edge of the road.
Stop.
This is a very interesting mechanism for turning on a traffic light. I am impressed.
Hold it. Hold it.
Welcome to the cave beauty spot.
Daddy Pig's width is about 145 centimeters, so the radius of this hole is a little less than 7 meters, and as we calculated earlier, the height is about 200 meters, which means about 10,000 square meters of soil were dug out. That means this front-end loader would have needed to scoop up soil 3,500 times. That would have taken several days.
Keys! We've got them!
Hooray!
The tip of Mr. Elephant's tail is showing through the car door. I wonder how that happened.
Mr. Bull loves digging holes.
The cars are standing on the ground, even though one scene earlier they were standing on asphalt.
Everybody loves digging holes.
What is the point of inserting Danny's bark if neither he himself, nor his father, nor his mother is in the shot?